Hare Krishna. So let us start our day. Prayers to Shishya Radha Govinda and our Guru Parampara. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamayam Dadadi Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapadakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijanasahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalitam Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karana Sindhu Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Shri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhasya Chakrapa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrindi ki jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai Guru Maharaj ki jai Guru Parampara ki jai Shad Goswamis ki jai Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Tarini Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Dandot Pranam to all the assembled devotees. As usual, let us start with a quick recap from our last session. There was a break last week. Let us see how much we can recollect from our last session. Is to see some hands volunteered for this service. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Some new hands. Just open your books and you can add few points. These are 3 regular hands I see. Hare Krishna. We need to move. We have to complete this chapter. I'm continuously getting one call. Let me take this call. Hare Krishna, somebody decided before I choose some names? What have we learned? It is already displayed in the screen. Praveen MS Prabhuji, you remember anything from our previous session?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, and just outside, I'll just get back, Prabhuji.
Okay. Praveen K. Prabhuji, have you made any notes? You remember anything from our previous session? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Some new hands. Okay, I will give chance to Shivkumar Prabhu. And meanwhile, I want some new hands to be raised, please. Otherwise, it makes no point having these sessions if neither you come prepared for the session nor you are making any notes and even read out your own notes. Then it becomes just a one-sided communication. As you know, I'm continuously traveling. Still, I carry my personal laptop. I take out time. I prepare. It is helping me a lot. But I want this to help you also. So that without that reciprocation, it will be of no use. Yeah, these are all very important things. It is not me who I'm speaking. I'm just repeating what I learned from my Siksha Gurus. It is coming from our Guru Parampara. These are all life-changing lessons, what we are receiving through these sessions. Right? So if you are busy, could not prepare for the class, fine. At least during the class, you might have made some notes. I'm only expecting that to repeat. Okay. So Shivkumar Prabhu, please.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu.
In 13th chapter we come to know about the due to the association of the modes of material nature, we get entangled in this material world. Karanam Guna Sanghasya Satasyativni Janmasu. But in the 14th chapter, we are studying what exactly these three modes of material nature are and how the living entity get entangled within this material world due to these three modes of material nature: Satoguna, Rajoguna, and Tamaguna. And in previous chapter, in seventh chapter also we have there is a sloka Davihi Esha Gunamayi that this material nature is consisting of my divine energy. Krishna is saying my divine energy, but what exactly constitutes these three modes of material nature? We are studying we are going to study in this chapter, and in chapter 14 we have studied how the pure and this soul is actually pure. It is it is parashakti of Krishna, but due to this association and the contact with the apara Shakti of Krishna, this soul becomes conditioned. Thank you, Prabhu.
Yeah, thank you very much, Prabhuji. Very important point you brought in. Madhura Manashi Mataji, you want to add anything?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare.
Well, Prabhu, here he says that the Lord says that whoever has surrendered to the Lord will be out of the cycle of birth and death, and will not take rebirth at the time of creation, and will not get disturbed at the time of annihilation. He also declares that aham bijadatta pita. So he is the seed giving father, and he describes about the three modes of nature, wherein he says the moment the living entity comes to this material world is influenced by the three modes of nature, and acts accordingly, and whatever is happening because of the influence of the three modes of nature. And how the three modes of nature influence the person is, there are swatagun, rajagun and tamagun. Like if satagun can defeat rajagun and tamagun, then satagun will have more influence on that person, and accordingly if tamagun can defeat rajagun and swatagun, then that person will be more inclined towards tamagun, and similarly rajagun. So whichever guna is being able to defeat the other two, that guna will have more influence on that person. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mataji. Very important point. So how the material nature is influencing us, the soul, through three modes of nature. This we have discussed, very important. And liberation and conditioning. By serving, a jiva serving Krishna liberates from these modes of material nature, and a jiva serving Maya will get conditioned. So this is a very important lesson we learned. Thank you very much. Neha Mataji, you want to add anything, any new points?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
It's absent last class, Prabhuji, but I attended half an hour
Yeah.
of recording, so I will tell from that. So we started off with discussing in first shloka that knowledge that Krishna gave in this chapter is superior. So we
Yes.
discussed why is it superior. So you told most confidential knowledge was understanding our constitutional position and engaging in devotional service. But even after knowing that, we are not able to follow. So why this knowledge is superior? Because this chapter tells us how deeply we are entangled and how we can rise above this. So this chapter gives us the path to rise above. And then in second shloka, we discussed that this knowledge is transcendental knowledge, and therefore it is not contaminated by the three modes. And it only talks about Jiva, Prakriti, and the Lord. So it is not contaminated. So and then we discussed why are we still struggling even after knowing all this knowledge. Because the reason was because of our material attachments and sense enjoying propensities. So how do we progress? Then the question was. So we discussed in Bhagavad Gita, Shloka 8, levels are given. So we can rise right now by practicing sadhana bhakti, that is abhyasa rupa bhakti, by following Guru Shastra instruction. And if we constantly practice this, we can rise by their mercy. So in 14.3 to 4 shloka, Krishna told that Aham BS-Apr-24. So there is no discrimination in Lord's eyes, and for Lord, everybody, every living entity is same, no matter which body it is having. So we also discussed thereby that we should not indulge in meat eating because we don't have right, as we all are same in Krishna's eyes. And Krishna is the father, and Prakriti is the mother of all jivas. And how Krishna impregnates with seeds of living entities. So this was all I learned.
Thank you. Appreciate. You could not attend the class, but listen to the recording and you could collect some of this point. Truly appreciate. Shanti Sudesh Mataji, you want to add?
Yes, sir. Prabhu, all the people in all three modes of nature, they are all conditioned. And the people in the sattva mode, they think they are happy, and they are also more intelligent than people in the other two modes. But this itself gives them a sense of pride, and that makes them binding. They fail to get liberation because of that pride. So they
Thank
should
you,
also
Mataji.
rise above that.
Yes, this again a very important point, how the modes we get entangled even in modes of goodness, and we will discuss today further how we can rise above that. Right, Kalpana Mataji, you have any points left? So we can move further.
almost all points covered, Prabhuji. Only one thing, Prabhuji. We have to, all these three modes, even goodness, mode of passion, and mode of ignorance, all will bind one, and one has to rise to the Vasudeva platform, Shuddha Sattva. And there are different things for each guna, has been explained in detail, Prabhuji. Mode of goodness will binds one because of the happiness and the knowledge he has. For the passion, he is binded because of his fruitive action, always like working like a donkey, and he is not working for himself. He is not working, keeping Krishna in the center. And ignorant people is like they are lethargy and they are in madness. They are not able to even understand or realize how they have to perfect themselves. So Maya is difficult to overcome. Finally, you concluded, Prabhuji, that one who surrenders to Krishna only can rise above these three modes. Otherwise, they will get degraded into the hellish life, especially the ignorant people. But passion and goodness, people who are in those modes, at least by doing some punya karma, they will be either in the earthly planets or in the heavenly planets, Prabhuji. That is the final conclusion. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mataji. Good. So, Prabhupada says, when you're taking class, even nobody is there. We have to take the class to the wall. It is for our own purification. But here in our class, there are so many sincere devotees. Every week they come, and I truly appreciate all your time. And secondly, the next category, like some of them just come, do not take notes, or not able to not answer any of these things. You are also great. Okay, compared to so many population out there, you are taking out time and coming and listening to it. So what you can do for yourself, Prabhupada says this body is a bad bargain, but the best we can do is by engaging in devotional service, and this is the best opportunity to go back to Krishna. Even during this class, we will discuss, there is a context which comes, even Brahma is hankering to take birth as a human being in this material world. That is the most important opportunity, most rarest of opportunity we have received. And the best we can do is by engaging in devotional service, go back to Krishna. So you all have come this far to Bhakti Shastri. Week after week, you are regularly coming, attending this class. So what you can do, get the best out of it, is please make notes, please participate. By participating, it is your own purification. There are instances in scriptures, a bird reciting just half a sloka gets liberated. So the opportunity what I give for all the devotees to recite sloka, read the translation, participate, these are all helping yourself. Agnata Sukritis, we don't know. These are all is accumulating, which will help us to progress in Krishna consciousness. Okay, so, and secondly, in Bhakti Shastri, this is where you are preparing yourself to be future preachers, right? Yesterday, I was in Guruvayur temple. There are lakhs of people come every month there. I could see at least 10,000, 20,000 people standing in queue. How many of them are chanting the holy names? Very, very negligible. That is why Prabhupada says this Krishna consciousness, unlimited preaching is required. We need to be compassionate about all the living entities. That is our responsibility. How you will preach this until and unless you practice, right? I am not a great preacher. I am also practicing. It is only by the mercy of Namanista Prabhu I am able to take this class. And it is my own purification. Every class I prepare gives me a lot of knowledge about Bhagavadgita. Every time I read Bhagavadgita, I get new learnings. So the point what I wish to say is, please make the most of this 1.5 hours. Yeah, whatever I discuss, reading Srila Prabhupada books, listening to senior Vaishnava, listening to my Shiksha Guru, I collate a lot of things, I bring it to you. So you can make these points, you can learn from that, you repeat those things, from that you will also fix up. That is the whole idea. So please take these simple instructions very seriously. It is expected all the students to come prepared for the class, reading all the purports and other things. So there is a fruitful discussion we can engage. The least expected is to please make notes. And when I give an opportunity in the beginning of the class, when you participate, that gives us a lot of motivation. Otherwise, what motivation I get to out of my ways to get prepare for all these things, come deliver this session. And then after module 3, module 4 and module 5, already I gave an opportunity for you that there are other senior teachers are there who can come and take, but most of you said you want to continue as we are progressing. So that also requires a lot of time and preparation. Without your reciprocation, I will not be having that motivation or energy. So it is an humble request. Henceforth, next classes, please come take 5-10 minutes, revise what has been discussed, come and give me a couple of points that will give a lot of positive energy to in the beginning of the session. Yeah. So this is a humble request. It is helping me as well as helping you. So let us progress together. So with this, let us start our session. So let us continue our discussion. So a quick recap of how the mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance is binding us, what are its characteristics, some of the examples, and what is the destination of person who is in such particular modes, and what are the results of such actions are being summarized here. So mode of goodness, what is binding us? The sense of happiness, satisfaction, knowledge, and superiority. This is very key, how one get binded in mode of goodness. The pride and superiority kicks in. Yeah. And what is happening? The characteristics. He is in knowledge. The gates of the body, as we said, there are 9 gates. It gets eliminates, and he is getting freed from all the sinful reactions. Some of the examples of such people are the philosophers, the scholars, the scientists, poets. These are all highly knowledgeable people in the society, but they feel they are superior to other class of people. So that is where they get binded. And what happens to one who is practicing in mode of goodness? He attains higher planets, okay, and elevate to higher planets. So one of the problem is he feels he is advanced, he is better than others. So when we see, I just gave you an example. I could see thousands of people standing in queue. They are all devotees of Lord Krishna in Guruvayur. They were doing a lot of austerity, and I am chanting. If I feel I am something greater than them, that is the moment I am falling down. So what our Guru Acharyas taught us is, looking at this, we need to be compassionate and try to preach the Krishna consciousness, the glories of holy name. I could find a beautiful shloka today about the glories of holy name. I will discuss about it as we progress. The holy name is so strong. We will discuss that. So we need to be very grateful. We are fortunate. We are not great. We should be grateful of getting holy name by the mercy of our Guru Parampara and devotees. And our duty is to spread this to as many conditioned souls as possible. That is what pleases our Guru and Gauranga most, and that is our duty. And in mode of passion, the attachment to fruits, yeah, the binding force, the hankering for sense enjoyment, it is intense. And what are the example? The man attached to the honor in society, attached to wife, children, house, property, his position in the society. So these are all some of the example of person in mode of passion. And if he has done some pious activity, what happens? He attains earthly planet again, but the result of action, he being in passion, he is always in misery, he is in greed, he is hankering for more, and he attains earthly planet so that he can continue progress from there. So that is what Prabhupada says. In person in passion, in order to please his wife, children, and society, he keeps up his prestige. One has to work. Therefore, the whole world is more or less in mode of passion. Modern civilization is considered to be advanced in the standard of mode of passion. But formally, what was known, the conditioned soul was considered to be in mode of goodness. So that is their advancement. But now one who is in passion, they think they are advancing. So here, if there is no liberation for those in the mode of goodness, what is to speak about the one who has entangled in mode of passion? So maximum population is entangled in this mode of passion, and there is no room for scope for them to liberate, is what Prabhupada says. And in mode of ignorance, the binding force is the madness, laziness, and oversleeping. We give a lot of importance for sleeping. So oversleeping. Sleeping is important. It says that minimum 6 hours of sleep is required. But somebody who is anchoring for more is in mode of ignorance. And what happens? His life is full of darkness, madness, inertia. It is not active. And such person, what is happening is whimsically acting. There is no regulation in his life. We have discussed about 4 regulative principles. There is no regulation in any of that. And what, as a result, the destination is he takes birth in a lower species. And result of action, all foolishness, madness, illusion, and finally attain hellish planets. So this is what we are discussed in summary. And we should understand that all mode of goodness, ignorance, and passion, it is all is shackle. We are in shackle in this material world. God of goodness could be good, but still it is shackle in gold. So we have to break free from all these shackle. And how we do it, we will discuss further through our balance session. So recognizing the supremacy of mode within a person, we need to understand the mode of in somebody, whether he is in a mode of goodness or passion or ignorance, and he has to rise above that. So section C will help us in that. So request devotees who recite sloka to keep the hands raised. Kalpana Mataji, you can start, and other devotees can raise for further slokas.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Rajasthamascha sattvam bhavati bharata. Rajasattvam tamaschaiva tamasattvam rajastata. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Praveen MS Prabhuji, you want to read this?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah, please.
Sometimes the mode of goodness becomes prominent, defeating the modes of passion and ignorance. O son of Bharata, sometimes the mode of passion defeats goodness and ignorance, and at other times ignorance defeats goodness and passion. In this way, there is always competition for supremacy.
Yeah. Thank you, Prabhu. So here, how the different mode become prominent is what it is discussed here. So when the mode of goodness is prominent, the passion and ignorance are defeated. So through this session, we need to know how we are going to rise in mode of goodness. So how it influences based on our activities, how a soul, a jiva, is influenced by particular mode is based on our dealings, our activities, the food what we eat. So all these things contribute to one who is whether in goodness, ignorance, or passion. So one clear thing we get from our Guru Acharyas is by practicing 4 regulative principles, one can clearly rise to at least a stage of mode of goodness. That is why so much of importance is been given for practicing all these 4 regulative principles. And I wish to add one of the mistakes I used to do in my initial days of preaching Krishna consciousness. Immediately, we will say what all I stopped coming into Krishna consciousness. If we say all these things to a newcomer, immediately he will run away. One who is so conditioned to eating meat, just a thought of stopping meat, he is okay to leave Krishna also. That is their conditioning. So all we need to say is to chant the holy names. When he starts chanting the holy names, rest everything will follow gradually. right? So when I spoke about following 4 regulative principles, this is one important thing we need to note as we get into our preaching activities, right? And then we discussed last time the stage high above mode of goodness. What is that mode of that stage is called? Shuddha Sattva, the Vasudeva state.
Vasudeva.
Yeah, and we discussed last session of importance of rising in Brahma Muhurta and attending Mangalarti as well as chanting holy names, right? Chanting holy name in Brahma Muhurta in association of devotees. This is very, very important for us to rise from our mode of ignorance and passion. Chanting of holy name is known as Sankirtana Yagna. But when we chant in association of devotees, what it happens? Chanting of holy name is Sankirtana Yagna. Chanting with association of devotees, what it is said?
It becomes Vrindavan.
It becomes
Vrindavan.
Vrindavan. Any other answer? These questions, there is no answer in book. I'm just adding my thoughts and my perspective and asking from you. So, Vrindavana, what else? It becomes Mahasankirtana Yagna. Yeah. So, it is important to chant the holy name in Brahma Muhurta in association of devotees. When there is a Mahasankirtana Yagna is happening, you being part of that and you contributing that to Mahasankirtana Yagna, our chanting, most of you agree that we have still not reached to that Shuddha Nama stage, right? We are struggling, our mind is wandering, we are struggling. So when we are chanting in association of devotees, definitely some of those devotees is chanting much better than that, and it is pleasing the Lord, and the presence of the Lord through the Nama is there. So we are also part of that. So that is the importance of chanting in Brahma Muhurta in association of devotees. Most who leaves their balance round to the evening and just before sleeping, they are somehow struggling to complete. Yes, Vyena Kera Prakarena, you are doing good, but many times we end up doing more Nama Prad through inattentive chanting. So to improve the quality of chanting in Brahma Muhurta is very important. So as we progress, I will come back to this topic of how we can improve further. Wherever we are, we should be grateful that we have come to a stage where we are chanting 16 round. How we can further rise, we will discuss on this as we progress. I will come back to this particular topic. So no hands raised for shloka. Please keep the hands raised. Madhura Manashi Mataji want to read the shloka, and other devotees,
Yes,
please
Prabhu.
raise the hands who want to recite shloka.
सर्वद्वारेषु देहेऽस्मिन् प्रकाश उपजायते ज्ञानं यदा तदा विद्याद् विवृद्धं सत्वम् इति उत. Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Mataji. Manashi Mataji, you want to read the translation?
Yes, Prabhuji. Give me 1 minute, please.
Yes, Mataji.
The manifestation of the mode of goodness can be experienced when all the gates of the body are illuminated by knowledge. Bhagavadgita 14.11.
Yes.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
Prabhuji, may I just ask a question since I have an opportunity?
Yes, Mataji.
My question is that when we are acting in the three modes of nature, then we think we are acting and we are doing this and we are doing that. So even in the Shuddha Sattva, we get the idea of pride because we think we have achieved this, we have given this, we have done that. But actually, as the Lord says, we are not doing anything. It's the mode that is acting.
Yes.
So getting that pride also is very stupid and foolish because we are not responsible at that point of time for the goodness that we are showing.
Yes.
So we try to purify our motives and purify the thinking to know that the Lord, who is the transcendental energy behind everything, is the one that is doing everything. We are, but He is apart from it. He is away from it, but He is exposing us to these modes to see how we react, and we try to claim doership, and that is where we fall.
Yes.
Even if we make mistakes, we are not doing it because we want to make those mistakes. We surrender because of our weaknesses. So if we do nam jap, and if we do devotional service, that gives us the strength to stick to our core role, which is of serving the Lord, and we don't get deviated by these false notions. We may still be in the three modes of nature, but we are not going to be held responsible because we are not doing it. We know that we are the servants of the Lord, and we do our best. Prabhuji, I find that a bit complicated. Later on, could you kindly explain it to us? Thank you so
So
much.
what you said is all right, but I did not understood what is your confusion. What is your question?
Prabhuji, my question is just this, that we know that we are not the actors.
Yes.
The modes are acting,
Yes.
and they are all from the transcendental energy of the Lord.
Yes.
But why do we get this feeling that we are the doers, and thereby attract all the bad karma, good karma? We should not get karma at all.
Yes.
So how do we get there, Prabhuji? That is my dilemma.
Yes. We are going to discuss in detail. This chapter is all about that. In further sloka, we are going to discuss. One good thing is to understand that we are not the doers. We are soul. We are not the doers, but we think we are doing because that is what is our conditioning, Mataji. Only because of our conditioning, only we think we are the doer. We are enjoying. We are suffering. But ultimately, the knowledge what we receive is what you said is we are not the doer. We are soul, and whatever is being done, the soul, the jiva we desire, and the Paramatma sanction, and the material nature, which is the body is also part of material nature. This is doing everything, and the body is suffering, and body is enjoying, and we are not this body. That realization we have to rise, and that realization will rise through the art of Nama Japa and association in devotees and doing devotional service. We have to rise to the stage, Mataji.
It's clearer to me. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji. Good. We are all in this stage only, Mataji. We are all struggling. That is why we say this is sadhana bhakti. Bhakti yoga in practice. So we are practicing to rise to that Vasudeva state.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Right.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Good. So whatever I wanted to say, you have already conveyed here. So in mode of goodness, what is happening is the 9 gates in the body is opened up, and it is illuminating through the knowledge what we have discussed now, and one will start rising above the dualities and fixing up in their constitutional position. Then rising above the dualities, the both honor, dishonor, difficulty, enjoyment, everything we are rising above that. So we will realize that we are not this body, we are the spirit soul. And one more beautiful shloka in this context from Bhagavadgita 18.54. Brahma bhuta prasannatma na sochati na kankshati sama sarveshu bhuteshu mad bhaktim labate param. It says, one who is thus transcendentally situated at once realize this Supreme Brahman platform, and he is fully joyful. He neither laments nor desires for anything. He is equally disposed towards every living entity. In such a state, he attains pure devotional service unto me, is what the Lord is telling. So as Mataji just expressed, we are all struggling in these dualities. Right? We have the knowledge. We have the jnana, but still we have not raised to the stage of vijnana, of realizing that I'm not this body. Whatever is happening is to the body. Body is temporary. I am soul, aloof from all these pleasure as well as displeasures. Next sloka. Still I don't see devotees raising. Okay, sorry. I moved the screen aside. Yes. There are many hands. Who is that?
Jyoti Mataji. Prabhuji? Sorry.
Yes, yes. You raise the hand, Mataji. Will give you opportunity. Now you can continue. Next, keep the hands raised, so you will get your chance again.
Right, Prabhuji.
Go ahead, Mataji.
लोभः प्रवृत्तिरारम्भः कर्मणाम् अश्मः स्पृहा रजस् इतानि जायन्ते विवृद्धे भरतर्षभ.
Thank you, Mataji. Praveen K. Prabhuji, to read the translation for us. Or Aruna Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
O chief of the Bharatas, when there is an increase in the mode of passion, the symptoms of great attachment, uncontrollable desire, hankering, and intense endeavor develop. Hare Krishna. Thanks.
Yes. So this shloka gives us the qualities and characteristics of a person who is in mode of passion. So one who is in mode of passion is never satisfied with whatever he has. He is always having hankering for more. The person who is working for 10 hours, you want to work more to earn more money. And last class we discussed what is the problem, because there is no Krishna in center. He is doing everything for his own sense enjoyment. That is the problem. Yeah, so there is no end for that. Sense enjoying propensity is such that whenever such propensities are there, we end up doing it, thinking that let me do it this one time and then I'll be okay. But it is like Prabhupada says, adding fuel in the fire. By adding fuel in the fire, can you douse the fire? You can never. So only way to get out of this is regulating. Regulating as much as possible, trying to postpone such things as much as possible. And when it is absolutely necessary, indulge in that. At our stage, we are all struggling. So indulge in such thing, but regulation is required. That effort is required, endeavor is required. That is what Krishna sees, and Krishna will help you from within to overcome these anarthas within. And one more quality is too attached to his family, too attached to his position, yeah, his household needs. So he continue to this attachment. One has to rise above all these things. These are some of the symptoms to be understood of a person who is extremely in passion. So let us go to the next shloka. Saheli Bose Mataji.
Krishna Prabhuji, Pranam Prabhuji. Bhagavadgita 14.13.
Yes, Mataji.
Aprakaso pravatisya pramado moha tamasi santavante Kirti Nandana. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Pranam Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Shweta Mataji. Want to read the translation?
O son of Puri, when there is an increase in the mode of ignorance, madness, illusion, inertia, and darkness are manifest.
Yeah. Inertia, darkness, and darkness are manifested. So these are the qualities and characteristics of person who are in mode of ignorance. The key thing we need to understand is there is absolutely no regulations. He does everything whimsically. Whenever he want to do whatever he want to do, he just do it without thinking about anything else. So, and even though he has the capacity to progress in his spiritual progress, he doesn't act. That is why it is known as inertia. Yeah. So although the consciousness is there, but he is completely inactive. So one of the qualities of such a person is hankering for more sleep. So as said in the beginning, 6 hours of quality sleep is what is needed. And I was just thinking, I have shared this example before as well. If we consider, we all have vehicles at home, right? If we consider this body as a vehicle, and if somebody needs 7-8 hours of sleep in a day out of 24 hours, so 1/3 of our time we are sleeping. So if the same we can relate to a vehicle at home, if 1/3 of this life of this vehicle, if it has to be left in the garage, do you treat it as a good vehicle? No, right? So this body we need to utilize. We should have to come out of our comfort zones always and do little austerities, waking up in Brahma Muhurta, doing fasting on Ekadashi's appearance day, disappearance day. What is happening is we are trying to rise above the bodily demands. This is very important for our progress from our mode of ignorance to rise further. So next, section 14.14 to 18, the actions and death within the mode. So what are the actions of such a person? And at the time of death, what planets, what is the next destination will be discussed in this section. Neha Jindal Mataji, you want to read the shloka?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, ma'am.
यदा सत्त्वे प्रवृद्धे तु प्रलयं यति देहभृत् तदोत्मा विदां लोकम् अमलं प्रतिपदायते.
Thank you, Mataji. Sudarshana Rao Prabhu, want to read the translation for us? Hare Krishna. Or let us move on. Praveen K. Prabhu, Sudarshan Prabhu, please be ready. I will come back to you. Aryan Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yeah, please go ahead.
When one dies in the mode of goodness, he attains to the pure higher planets of the great sages. Bhagavadgita 14.14. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. So here, one who dies in the mode of goodness, what happens to such person? He will attain the higher planetary system like Brahmaloka, Indraloka. So he rises to the higher planets and enjoy the godly happiness. And in this shloka, the word Amalan is important. It says free from mode of passion and ignorance. So one who is free from passion and ignorance, he rises to mode of goodness, and at the time of death, he will go for higher planetary systems. So this is one thing. And we need to understand this material world. There is impurities in the material world, and the highest what you get from this material world is mode of goodness. And through following all the regulative principles, we need to rise to that stage. And even rising to that stage, rising to higher planetary system, what we need to understand is Bhagavadgita 8.16 sloka. It says, Abrahma bhuvana loka punar avartino arjuna mam upatyentu tu kaunteya punar janmana vidyate. So right from the highest material planet, to the lowest, all places are misery is what we learn from this shloka. So we should not be happy to rise to the mode of goodness and go to the higher planetary system. As said, even the Brahma and the demigods are hankering, doing a lot of austerities to take birth in this material world. So why the Brahma and the demigods are doing all these tapasya austerities to take birth in material world? What is wrong in
Prabhuji, so that they can do devotional service?
Yes. So we can do devotional service. Why we can't do devotional service in higher planetary systems?
That I don't know, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Because
Any
facilities for
answers?
self-enjoyment.
Sorry?
Because facilities for self-enjoyment are higher, Prabhuji.
Yes. Facility. When you call out to the Lord, when the situation is fantastic, everything is going good, you can see the intensity with which you call out to the Lord. At the same time, when you are in difficulty, the intensity when you call out to the Lord. So the material world is known as Dukkhalayam Ashashvatam, right? So there is always Dukkhalayam. We are all struggling in our own lives. We are all battling our own thing. Only in this situation, only we will call out. That is why Kunti Maharani's Kunti Stuti, if you see, Kunti Maharani says, if you are with us, we need more difficulties in our life. You are always there during my difficult times. When everything is over, when the war is over, you are leaving. So if you have, Kunti Stuti is telling we need more difficulties. Yeah. That is the mood of the pure devotees. So why we can't do devotional service in higher planetary system? The sense enjoyment is more, the happiness enjoyment is more. That the hankering to serve the Lord is very minimum compared to when you are in difficult situation. Let us move to the next shloka. Shanti Sudesh Mataji.
रजसि प्रलयं गत्वा कर्मसङ्गीषु जायते तथा प्रलीनस्तमसि मूढयोनिषु जायते.
Thank you, Mataji. Akshita Reddy Mataji, you want to read this?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. When one dies in the mode of passion, he takes birth among those engaged in fruitive activities, and when he dies in the mode of ignorance, he takes the birth in the animal kingdom.
Thank you, Mataji. So, there is a misconception that when somebody reaches to the human body, then there is no falling down. People think there is only one life. Either you get hell or heaven. So in this, we clearly understand through this shloka, there is a great danger of somebody falling down, can be degraded from a human life to the form of animal life as well. So, but one who is engaged in little devotional service, such person gets a body of a human being and he can continue further. So Bhagavadgita 2.4, it confirms Neha Vikramanasosthi Pratyavayo nan vidyate Solpa api asya dharmasya Trayate Mahato Bayat. So what is this great danger being taught, being said in this sloka? Trayate Mahato Bayat. What is the great danger?
Prabhuji, of falling into the animal, lower species and hellish planets.
Yes. Falling down to a lower species is such a big danger. Only being in a human form, at least you can chant the holy names. That is the bare minimum. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the mercy he has given by chanting the holy names, we can go back. As an animal, you will not be able to chant the holy name, not be able to engage in devotional service. So that is the greatest danger. So little devotional service, what we have done, we will get a, Krishna is confirming that you will get an human form. But what should we understand? If you get a human form in some of the non-Sanatana practicing countries, yeah, their people would have not even heard about Krishna, right? So having taken birth in Bharata Bhumi, having come into Krishna consciousness, we need to be extremely serious, extremely sincere in our progress so that we make our this lifetime is last lifetime and go back to Krishna. So next shloka. Shanti Sudesh Mataji, read this for us.
Shloka 16. Karmana sukratasyahu satvikam nirmalam phalam rajasastu phalam dukkam ajnanam tamasa phalam.
Thank you, Mataji. Praveen K. Prabhu, can you unmute now?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. By acting in mode of goodness, one becomes purified. Work done in the mode of passion results in distress, and action performed in the mode of ignorance results in foolishness. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, give me a minute. Let me just connect my laptop to the charger. Hare Krishna. Yeah, so in this shloka, we learn the different activities being done in mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance. The result of pious activity in the mode of goodness is leading to happiness. The activity which is done in the mode of passion, when one do not keep Krishna in center and do everything for his sense enjoyment, is always miserable, right? Whatever sense enjoying he does, he may build big houses, buy a luxury car, but still the richest person in the world is not the happiest person, right? So this is a key learning. And one who is in mode of ignorance, such a person is without knowledge. All his activities is only leading to misery, and he will slide down to the animal life. Yeah. So one of the key characteristics of mode of ignorance is killing of animal for his own sense enjoyment. As we learned from this chapter, Aham Bija Parampita, Krishna says, I am the seed-giving father of all the living entity. So if we kill any of the living entities for our own sense enjoyment, definitely Supreme Lord is not going to spare such a person. So what we need to understand, there is no need for eating meat for our own sense enjoyment. If somebody is doing it, he is in a extreme mode of ignorance and the darkest region of hell. He has to see the darkest region of hell, and a cow slaughter is the most grossest type of mode of ignorance. From Vishnu Purana, we know this sloka that we say Namo Brahmanya Devaya Go Brahmana Itaya Cha Jagaditaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namaha. This is how we pray to the Lord. It clearly says special mention is given for protection of cows and Brahmanas, right? So that is the real advancement of the society. A society where the Brahmanas and cow are protected, such society is the real advancement. At the same time, in the modern today's society, these things are being neglected. And the society is being grossly misled by mode of passion as well as ignorance. So next shloka. Neha Mataji, you want to read this shloka?
सत्त्वत् सञ्जायते ज्ञानं रजसो लोभ एव च प्रमादमोहतामसो भवतो ज्ञानमेव च.
Thank you, Mataji. Karuna Mataji. Karuna Pyati Gaudru Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. From the mode of goodness, real knowledge develops. From the mode of passion, greed develops. And from the mode of ignorance, develop foolishness, madness, and illusion. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
So here, it is these qualities, mode of goodness, passion or ignorance, how it is affecting the overall society can be seen here. So through mode of goodness, the Krishna consciousness society, the people with following 4 regulative principles, who loves peace and happiness. So such society can be developed. And mode of goodness people see as it is, whereas mode of ignorance people cannot see things. For example, killing of animal, they can't see that by the law of nature they have to take birth as an animal to overcome this law of karma, right? So the mode of goodness, and by this knowledge there is a peace and happiness in the society, whereas the mode of passion or ignorance, there is always a disturbance in the society. So what we understand, so from mode of passion, greed develops, hankering for more sense gratification. From the goodness, the real knowledge develops, which leads to peace and prosperity in the society, whereas ignorance develops madness and foolishness. Let us move to the next shloka. Padmini Mataji, you want to read the shloka?
Yes, Prabhuji. Urdhvam gachanti sattvastha madhye tishtanti rajasaha jaghanya gunavruttistha adho gachanti tamasaha. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Suraj Prabhu, you wish to read this for us?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Those situated in the mode of goodness gradually grow upward to the higher planets. Those in the mode of passion live on the earthly planets, and those in the mode of ignorance go down on the heavenly worlds. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes. So whatever we have discussed, it is being repeated here. So this was the result of actions of one in mode of goodness and passion and ignorance is being explained more explicitly here. And one rises to the higher planetary system in mode of goodness and mode of passion. As we have discussed, he will remain, considering they have done a pious activity, some devotional service, he will remain, take birth in earthly planet in a human form and continue progress. And the one who is in mode of ignorance, there is a great risk of falling down to about 8.4 million species of bird, beast, reptile, trees. Yeah. And the word tamasa is significant here. It says one who is continuously in the mode of ignorance without rising to higher modes, such person future is extremely dark. So this is a very rarest of rare opportunity for us to rise above, and we have to put all our endeavors in rising above to mode of goodness. The point before we move to the last section is the self-reflection is very important. Wherever we are, by the mercy of Guru and Gauranga, we have come into this Krishna consciousness. We have started with level 1. We started chanting one round, and gradually we have started increasing, and then slowly the 4 regulative principles, all these things we are progressing, right? So there is no end for this progress. We have to continue to rise. Even chanting of holy name. Further, I have kept a section where we will discuss on how to improve further on our qualities of chanting of holy name. I will come back to that. So the point which I wish to say is through the sadhana bhakti, we have to self-reflect. We have to see into the mirror. Yeah, when we say see into the mirror, see within us, are we progressing further? What we can do more? Every activity what we are doing in devotional service can be done in a better way. So we always have to keep looking out. So seeing fault within will help us to rise above. But what we do is, instead of seeing within the mirror, we look outside. When we say we look outside, we look at others and look at their faults and we think we are the best. So this we have to shift. Look within for faults and look outside for good things. Whoever we are dealing with, we have to look at their good qualities and look at faults within us. This is one of the key lessons we get from our scriptures and our Guru Acharyas. Let us move to the next sloka. Kalpana Mataji, can you please read this for us?
नान्यं गुणेभ्यः कर्तारं यथा द्रष्टानुपश्यति गुणेभ्यश्च परं वेत्ति मद्भावं सोऽधिगच्छति. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Shivakumar Prabhu, can you please the translation for us?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. When you see that there is nothing beyond these modes of nature in all activities, and that the Supreme Lord is transcendental to all these modes, then you can know my spiritual nature. Jai Krishna Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu. So, in the beginning of the session, Manushi Mitra Mataji raised this question. We know that we are not doing, the material body is doing, but we think that we are doing, right? Coming back to that point, how can one rise above this? Through this sloka, we understand that one can transcend all these modes of material nature simply by understanding them properly, by taking shelter of Guru, Sadhu and Shastra. Just because we have taken shelter of this Bhagavadgita, we are attending these classes, at least we have come to a stage, theoretically at least we know that we are not this body, we are the spirit soul. Millions and billions of people are living thinking that we are this body, and everything, it is we who have to enjoy, right? At least we have rising to that platform. And hence, what is important is through the purpose of Srila Prabhupada, we understand taking the shelter of our spiritual master. Yeah. And we will get this knowledge because through this spiritual master, the spiritual master is directly connected through the Guru Parampara, starting with Krishna. And this message is coming from Krishna. So that is the very bona fide knowledge we are receiving through this Parampara system, which will help us to rise above these three modes of material nature. So under guidance of spiritual master, doing sadhana bhakti, following four regulative principles, this is the way we can further rise. Otherwise, as Shivakumar Prabhu said, Devi Isha Gunamahi Mama Maya Duratyaya Mam Eva Ye Prapadyante Mayam Eva Tarantite. So it is extremely difficult to overcome these modes of material nature, but one who has surrendered to Guru and Gauranga, he can easily get over, is what we understand. So some of the examples from the scriptures, one who has taken shelter from Guru and he got delivered from his mode of ignorance. Any such examples can somebody share from some of the examples from the scriptures? There are many examples.
Mrigari Prabhuji.
Yes, Mrigari.
Parikshit Maharaj Prabhuji.
Parikshit Maharaj was not in mode of ignorance, Mataji. Okay, so yes, he got enlightened, but here some of the examples, Mrigari.
Ratnakar, who became Valmiki.
Exactly, Mataji, yes. So Valmiki, before he was Ratnakara and he was killing animals, and by taking the shelter of Narada Muni, he writes Ramayana, right? Similarly, Nityananda Prabhu delivering Jagai Madai. So they were all examples of one who is in mode of ignorance, and by the mercy, by taking shelter of the spiritual master, they
Gajendra also will come, Prabhuji. Gajendra.
Looking at script, these are all some of the scriptures. I can say myself, yeah, by coming into Krishna consciousness, by the mercy of Namanishta Prabhu through the level 1 Gita course, It has transformed my own life. Right? So that way, most of us can relate. By taking the shelter of spiritual master, we can rise above. Next shloka. Madhura Manashi Mataji, you want to read this shloka?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, yes Prabhu. Guna netan atityatrin dehi deha samudbhavam janma mrityu jara dukkhair vimukto mritam asnute. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Anybody who has not participated yet? Chanda Mataji, you are silent.
Hare Krishna.
She's listening today, Prabhu. She's in school.
She's traveling, huh?
She's
Hare Krishna
working
Prabhu,
today,
may I?
Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu, go ahead.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. When the embodied being is able to transcend these three modes, he can become free from birth, death, old age, and their distresses, and can enjoy nectar even in this life.
Yes.
Hare
So,
Krishna Prabhu.
again, going back to Manashi Mitra Mataji's question, we are all struggling how we can rise above. Right? This sloka gives us a clear direction how one can rise above, even in this body, even in this lifetime, how one can rise above these three modes of material nature and how one can fully fix up in Krishna consciousness. In this sloka, the word dehi is significant, which says embodied. We are all struggling because why we think we are the doer? Because we are in conditioned stage. We are not yet liberated. So only by devotional service to the Lord, being in Krishna consciousness, we can rise. And that is the true sign of liberation. And this will be even more discussed in further chapters. And this sloka speaks about the results of transcending three modes. What is the result? One, become gunatita, free from three modes of material nature. Knowing all these things, still we are struggling. Yeah. It's a very important question what Manashi Mitra Mataji said. Why we are struggling? What is our stage today? Even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sikshastakam, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Lord himself when he came, what he is telling, what is his mode? The second sloka of Sikshastakam. Somebody knows what is the second sloka of Sikshastakam?
नानाकार्य बहुधा निज सर्वशक्ति तत्रार्पित नियमित स्मरणेन काल एतादृशी कृपा भगवन्मापि दुर्दयम् ईदृशम् इहाजने न अनुरागः
Durdaiva idarsham yajani. Durdaiva, it is our greatest misfortune, having all the knowledge. It says, "Oh Lord, your holy name alone can render all the benediction to the living entities. You have invested all the transcendental energies in this holy name, and there is no hard and fast rule to chant the holy names. It has become so, you have given so easily to us, but the most misfortune is, the unfortunate thing, I have no attraction for the holy names." Yeah. In this line, there is a beautiful shloka which I come across this week when I was preparing for this session from shloka from Brahma Vaivarta Purana. It says, Gokoti Danam Grahane Kagakshay Prayaga Gangodaka Kalpa Vasya Yagnayutam Meru Suvarna Dhanam Govinda Kirterna Samam Satam Say. The meaning of this is, please make a note, even if one distribute 10 million cows in charity, and that too during the eclipse of sun, one who lives in the confluence of Ganges and Yamuna for millions of years, or give a mountain of gold as charity to Brahmanas, it does not earn 1/100th part of the merit derived from chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Yeah, three things what it has been told is, the chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, it's so glorious, it is not equal to whatever the charities one is doing, the 10 million, 1 crore Godana, or giving gold to the heights of Sumeru, which is the tallest of the mountain, or living in confluence of Ganges and Yamuna, still that is also is less than 1/10, 1/100th. It is there, it is all given. The problem is we don't have faith. We don't have faith in these things. That is why we are struggling. So I thought just deliberate on this topic for a few minutes. So we are all come to a stage where we are chanting 16 rounds. How can we further rise? We all know there is Shuddha Nama stage, Nama Baz and Nama Prad, right? We are all struggling in Nama Prad stage. Shuddha Nama is not in our hand. Can somebody rise to Shuddha Nama stage? Or how can we rise to Shuddha Nama stage?
Only with the mercy of Krishna.
Yes. Only by the mercy of Nama,
Our India.
mercy of Guru and Gauranga, we can rise to that stage. What we can endeavor is to at least rise to Namahaba stage, right? So let us discuss how can we further improve our quality of chanting. 2-3 minutes we can just discuss and make notes of these points. So it will help all of us. We are all struggling. How can we improve further?
Prabhu, at present I'm trying a shortcut, Prabhu.
Yeah,
I'm
just give few
chanting with
small
Prabhupada.
points so that we can cover more points.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes,
Chanting with Prabhupada. So it keeps me away from distraction and it makes me more focused and
yes.
avoid aparadhas.
Yes. What else? These are all very simple. You are all Bhakti Shastri students chanting 16 rounds. Keep throwing some ideas. It will help all of us.
Chanting in the early morning Brahma Muhurta.
Yes. Chanting in Brahma Muhurta. What else?
Chanting in devotee association.
Chanting in devotees association. Yes. That is what Shanti Mataji said. Chanting with Prabhupada, chanting in association of devotees, chanting in Brahma Muhurta. What else?
Prabhuji, if we can hear our own chanting clearly.
Yes, very important point. So, chanting correctly, listening attentively is the simple rule. Many of them want to chant very fast, and most of them are not chanting the 16 words properly. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. They keep running. So correctly we need to pronounce and attentively listen. This is very important. Okay. What else?
By bringing back the mind again and again.
Yes. So our mind continuously wander, right? Every time it wanders, you are in the movie what your mind is showing, and you are happily being part of that. And your mouth and fingers are chanting Hare Krishna, and you are completely in your thought process. That is Nama Aparadha. But every time when you realize and bring back to your this thing, that is Nama Abha stage. You are trying to rise. Again, your mind will take. Again, you bring back. Again, your mind will take. Again, you bring back. Do this. Even devotees who are chanting 30, 40 rounds are struggling. 30, 40 years are struggling. But what is important is our endeavors to bring back mind every time it move away. Most of them will complete their 16 round without even knowing where my mind is, what I am doing, right? And one of the best way to break this thought process, at least most of them complete 16 round and they don't even realize where my mind was. I have never focused on the Harinam. So break that thing. What I do is I chant Panchatattva mantra in beginning of every round. So at least after one round, I have brought my mind and I'm praying to Panchatattva to please help me to focus. Yeah. And our Guru Acharya says, chanting Panchatattva mantra, praying to Panchatattva will greatly help to reduce Namaparad and try to focus on the holy names. What more? All these points we all know. We are just reiterating so that we start practicing again. We all know, but we don't practice. Very reason why I brought this topic is that from today onwards, at least, whatever point we are making, we make a note and try to put that endeavors so that we improve in our quality of chanting. What more?
Actually, I will keep Krishna photo before me and I will chant, so I will not get.
Hare Krishna.
Guru told.
Sorry? Voice is breaking.
Prabhuji, I'll keep Krishna photo and I will chant. I'll be seeing the
Yes.
Radha Govinda and I'll.
Yes, I also do that, Mataji. I also do that. Yeah. So.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji.
Pranam. And we should always in Sattva Guna and we should not think for others. If we think for others, we should not expect anything from others. And then we have to practice Sattva Guna, then our chanting will be good. It is my idea, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji. Very important point, which help me. See, this is why I ask to participate so that things will come out. Now, the point which I am trying to say, I never thought of bringing it to this discussion, but as Mataji said, I thought of adding this. My own realization is the first 2 hours in the day, when you prioritize for Krishna and chanting of holy names, first thing when you prioritize, right? The next, you are preparing for next 22 hours. Yeah. And the second important point which I want to bring is how you live next 22 hours, in what mood will help your quality of chanting, right? So this is a very important point.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. One Prabhuji suggested in a lecture, by reading the Hare Krishna mantra as we are chanting, like we are trying to focus.
Sorry, just hold on, Mataji. Just a minute. Somebody has come. Just give me a minute. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Please bear with such disturbance. Okay. Okay. Yes, Mataji, you were adding some point. Please tell me.
Yes, Prabhuji, in one class, one Prabhuji suggested to improve the quality of our chanting, to read the Hare Krishna mantra as we are chanting. So that way we are focusing our mind on the words.
Yes. Yes, Mataji. So, as I said, how we live next 22 hours is extremely important. And what is important is Harinam is just not, Harinam is nothing other than Krishna. Kali Kale Nama Rupe Krishna Avatar. And Nama Prabhu is lot more mercy than Krishna himself, is what it is been told. So we have seen when we are going to Vrindavan and any other temples, we have seen many Matajis carrying Laddu Gopal with them. Yeah, with so much of love and affection they carry and they serve. Similarly, all of us have to connect the personal form of the Nama. Yeah, you need to realize, you need to visualize the personal form of the Nama and carry this Nama within your heart through the day. That will help, that personal relationship will help us to rise. Many people say that the chanting has become mechanical. So when you do all these things, then you further rise. Okay, so just deviated, but I thought this is very important for all of us. So let us move further. I wish to continue this discussion for another 15-20 minutes and complete this chapter. Hope you are all with me.
Yes.
Yes.
Is that okay?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes.
Yeah, so that let us complete this chapter and move further. So quickly take up sloka translation and then we can move further. So next sloka, Neha Jindal Mataji, can you please recite for us?
Arjuna uvacha कैर्लिङ्गस्त्रीङ्गुणम् एताम् अतीतो भवतो प्रभु किम् आचर कथं चैतं स्त्रीङ्गुणम् अतिवर्त.
Thank you, Mataji. Anybody left out who have not read the translation?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji, go ahead.
Arjuna inquired, "O my dear Lord, by what symptoms in one known who is transcendental to those modes? What is his behavior and how does he transcend the modes of nature?" Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. These three questions are extremely important. We've been discussing how we are conditioned with three modes of material nature. Now, these three questions from Arjuna is for all of us. Yeah. So, Krishna, the first question is, how can one understand that he has already transcended the influence of modes of material nature? How one can understand? So, what are the qualities of a person who is transcend this mode of material nature? That will be discussed. Next question is how he lives and what are his activities? Are they regulated or non-regulated? Yeah. And the third question is the means by which one can attain this transcendental nature, how one can move further. So all these questions are being raised by Arjuna through further slokas. Krishna is going to explain how one can do gunatita, how one can rise above these modes of material nature. So next, continuously there are 4 slokas. Kalpana Mataji, can you please recite this sloka for us?
Shri Bhagavan प्रकाशं च प्रवृत्तिं च मोहम् एव च पाण्डव न द्वेष्टि सम्प्रवृत्तानि न निवृत्तानि काङ्क्षति उदासीनवदासीनो गुणैर्यो न विचाल्यते गुणा वर्तन्त इत्येवं योऽवतिष्ठति नेङ्गते समदुःखः सुखस्वस्थः समलोष्टास्मकाञ्चनः तुल्यप्रिया प्रियो धीरः तुल्यनिन्दात्मसंश्रुतिः मानापमानयो तुल्यः तुल्यो मित्रारिपक्षयोः सर्वारम्भपरित्यागी गुणातीतः स उच्यते. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Mataji. Who is that lucky devotee wish to grab this reading of this translation?
Prabhuji, may I?
Go ahead, Mataji. If you ask permission, you will lose the opportunity. Unmute and take up.
Prabhuji, can I start?
Yes, Mataji, go ahead.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, O son of Pandu, he who does not hate illumination, attachment, and delusion when they are present, or long for them when they disappear, who is unwavering and undisturbed through all those reactions of the material qualities, remaining neutral and transcendental, knowing that the modes alone are active, who is situated in the self, and regards alike happiness and distress, who looks like upon a lump of earth, a stone, and a piece of gold with an equal eye, who is equal towards the desirable and the undesirable, who is steady, situated equally well in praise and blame, honor and dishonor, who treats alike both friend and enemy, and who has renounced all material activities. Such a person is said to have transcended the modes of nature. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. So here is your answer, Mataji. Yeah. So Krishna
Yes,
is
Prabhuji.
indicating how one can transcend. What are its qualities? How that person live? Yeah. So one of the key thing is he's transcendentally situated and has no envy and does not hanker anything material. So we have anarthas, envy, hatred, greed, lust. It is said that envy we can't engage even in the service. The lust, greed, all these things also can be engaged in the service of the Lord. But envy is such thing which we can't. This is why we are all struggling. And we need to understand that the living entity in this material world is conditioned. And as long as we are there, we are under the control of material modes of nature. Only by unalloyed devotional service, one can rise above this bodily concept of life and rise to a realization that we are not this body, we are the spirit soul. And all this entanglement, conditioning is for the body. We are not this body. So this realization is extremely important. Yeah, soul is aloof from all the honor, dishonor, distress or happiness. The next question of Arjuna is how such a person, about the dealings, what are the dealings of such a transcendentally situated person? So the person who is situated in a material platform, he is always affected by the dualities. He is always affected by the so-called honor and dishonor offered to the body, right? But the person who is situated transcendentally, he is fixed up in Krishna consciousness. He practices Yukta Vairagya. Everything, he accepts only those things which can be utilized for service in the Lord and rejects everything which is not utilized for the service of the Lord. So the Bhagavadgita 18.54 shloka, Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma na sochati na kankshati sama sarveshu bhuteshu mad bhaktim lavate param. So he is equally disposed and sees everything as at equal level, because he knows that he has nothing to do with this material existence. He sees both friends as well as enemies as equal. So that is the platform of a person who is transcendentally situated, and only such person can go back to Krishna. If we can't forgive people, then how can we expect Krishna to forgive us? This is a very important statement I'm making. This Kali Yuga itself, the people is such that whoever we are dealing, people are dishonest, duplicity, cheating propensity. And that is what we were also. We are also now. Right? So if we are not able to forgive people, how can we expect Krishna to forgive us? This is a very important statement. So we have to rise above all these anarthas within to situate transcendentally, to break free from this mode of goodness or passion or ignorance. Right? So some of the behaviors of Gunatita has been mentioned, summarized here. He is Udasina, neutral for all the situation, undisturbed by the reactions of modes, knowing that it is the mode alone that are active. Soul is non-doer. So whatever is happening to the body. All the relatives, all the friends, all the society, whoever is doing whatever, giving whatever difficulties to us, it is for the body. We are above that. This realization is required. Equal in happiness and distress. We have to take actions, but you are Tita Dhira, steady in such. You are not attached to the results, is what the message we need to take. Firmly situated in self. And see everything as lump of earth, a stone and a gold as same. Equal toward dears and not dears. Equal towards praise and blame. Equal in honor and dishonor. Treats enemies and friends alike. Renounces all material activity. So these are something. If we want to go back to Krishna, the qualities we have to practice. Further, next shloka, Shanti Sudesh Mataji, you want to read the shloka? Or Madhura Manasi Mataji, can you read the shloka for us?
Mam cha yogye bhichareena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samatityaitan brahma bhoyaya kalpate. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Aruna Mataji, can you please read the translation for us?
One who engages in full devotional service, who does not fall down in any circumstance, at once transcends the modes of material nature and thus comes to the level of Brahman. Hare Krishna. Thanks, Prabhu.
So this is the reply to the last third question. What is the means of attaining the transcendental position? So the material world is acting under the spells of material nature. It will continue to push us away from Krishna. Yeah, the material nature, our mind is such that it always pushes towards the sense enjoyment, material attachment. It will continue to push us away from Krishna, continue to push towards Maya, continue to engage in unregulated sense enjoying activities. So only way out is regulating our activities, regulating our senses in service of the Lord. Sarvopadi vinirmuktam tat paratvena nirmalam rishikena rishikesha sevanam bhakti ruchyate. So when we are engaging our senses in service of the Lord, we get freed from all the material designations and all the impurities are getting taken away from us. And such person only attains Satchit Ananda nature. And he will realize that he is part and parcel of the Lord and his purpose is to engage in service of the Lord. So what is the qualification to serve the Lord? Hare Krishna. What is the qualification to serve the Lord?
Bhakti, Prabhuji.
Bhakti, yes. What more? What more answers?
Anya Abhishashita Shunyam. Without any
Yes, that
fruitive
is the
result, we should
definition.
serve the
That is
God.
the definition of bhakti, but that is very highest stage, Mataji. We are not there to that stage, right? So what is the
Keeping
qualification?
Krishna in the
Faith,
center.
Prabhuji.
Yes,
From
keeping
faith.
Krishna in center in everything we do. What more?
Faith, Prabhuji. From faith.
What more?
No qualification
Eagerness.
needed. Little Shraddha.
Yes, Radha. So simple answer is just stop serving Maya. Do everything, as Mataji said, keep Krishna in center. Do everything for the pleasure of the Lord. You are eating food. You offer to Lord and eat the food. So honoring prasad is also one of the key thing which can raise us in mode of goodness, right? The qualification to serve the Lord is resign the job of serving Maya. Yeah. How to transcend the mode? The last question, one who engages in full devotional service, unfailing in all circumstances, little headache, first thing we will do is morning sadhana is gone for a toss. Yeah. So irrespective of our situation, yes, there are difficult days. There are excuses, but it should not become a practice. Savai pumsa paro dharmo yato bhakti adokshaje ahituki apratiyata yayatma suprasiddhati. Shloka from Srimad Bhagavatam 1.2.6. How can we be happy? Yayatma suprasiddhi. Only by engaging in devotional service. And how should that devotional service should be? Ahituki apratihata. As Madhura Mataji said, unconditional and uninterrupted. This is extremely important. So the last shloka for the day. Saheli Bose Mataji. This is extremely feeble, Mataji. Can somebody else recite?
Can I
Go ahead, Mataji.
ब्राह्मणो हि प्रतिष्ठाहम् अमृतस्य च शाश्वतस्य च धर्मस्य सुखास्यैकान्तिकस्य च.
Thank you, Mataji. Anybody who missed out in today's class, who have not read, or anybody can take up. Praveen K. Prabhu, did you?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, go ahead.
And I am the basis of impersonal Brahmin, which is the constitutional position of ultimate happiness, and which is immortal, imperishable, and eternal. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhuji. So the constitutional position of Brahman is immortality, imperishability, eternity, and happiness. Yeah, we discussed 3 ways of realizing the Lord, right? Vadanti tat tattva vidas tattvam yajnana advayam brahmeti paramameti bhagwaniti sabhyate. So we can realize the Lord as Brahman feature, Paramatma feature, and Bhagwan feature, right? And chapter 7, we learned the material nature is inferior energy and we are the marginal energy. We can rise above or fall down. Yeah, so this is one thing. And then among 3 realization, the Brahman realization, there is a risk of falling down. So we have to gradually rise to the Bhagwan feature where we can serve the Lord. So in one's constitutional position, the living entity is above 3 modes of material nature. By chanting the holy names and engaging in devotional service, only one can rise above these 3 modes of material nature. So the process of devotional service, starting with chanting of holy name. That is why I took extra time to discuss from wherever we are, how can we further rise? We discussed multiple ways. Most of the ways we have known, but we are not practicing. So when I say, look into the mirror, you can ask this question yourself, am I doing all these things? And we can continue to progress. So by association of devotees is extremely important for us to stay and progress further. Gradually with such association, one can rise and transcend about these 3 modes of material nature and fix up, as Krishna says 9.34, Manmana bhava mad bhakto madhyajimam namaskuru mam evasyasi yuktamyam atmanam mat parayanaha. So engage your mind, always thinking of me. Become my devotee, offer obeisances to me, worship me, being completely absorbed in me. Surely you will come to me. So how we can attain this is rising above these 3 modes of material nature. So with this, we have come to the end of this session. So actually I wanted to have some time to discuss what are the practical tips for practicing devotees for us to develop to the, at least rise to the mode of goodness. So I wanted to have a breakout room session, but we don't have time. We have already ran out of time by 15 minutes. So we can take 5 minutes and just like we had an open discussion on how to improve our quality of chanting. Similarly, we can discuss some of the points from the class. What are the practical tips devotees can implement in their life to develop two mode of goodness. Okay, the class is open for all. So some of the key points everybody can share, and we can make points. We can practice that. That will help us to transcend. Right? So class is open. One
Hare Krishna
point
Prabhuji.
by each devotees. You can just keep adding.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mata.
Prabhuji, first of all is the regular chanting, and after that comes the selfless service. If we are in the association of devotees all the time and giving the selfless service, this help us to rise at least and remain in mode of goodness.
Exactly, Mataji. So selfless service is very important. Our conditioning is such that if we say Dandavat Pranam to somebody and if they are not replying to us, we think he's such a rude person. So selfless is has very deep meaning, right? We are not expecting anything in return. So that is very important. Good point, Mataji. What else?
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mata.
Prabhuji, whenever if I see something going wrong, I used to get very, very angry.
Yeah.
And after coming to this, what I do is when I see that something is about to get wrong and situation might get worse, I might get angry. I keep murmuring Trinadapi Sunichena Tarurapi Sahisnuna. This third stanza I keep murmuring, and it helps me control. So we should try. We should try to see wherever we have scope. We should try to figure out what we should practice so that we can try to rise.
Yes,
We will
Mata.
not rise instantly, but we may try to.
Yeah, one thing which helps me is trying to find good things. Others. Yeah, when I don't get response in the beginning of the class, I feel bad. But I feel good things that at least devotees have come, spending their precious time, and that makes me so responsible through the week. For you, it is 1.5 hours. For me, this entire week, I'm meditating on the next class. I keep collecting points. I keep my eyes, ears open. What all thing to pick up, where I can connect, how I can present. So this is always in my meditation. Yeah. So looking at good things will also help us. Yes, Mataji. What more? There are so many points. Please let the points keep flowing. Free flow should be there.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna
Glorification of
Prabhuji.
devotees.
Yes, Prabhu.
Glorification of devotees, Prabhu.
Glorification of devotees is extremely important. That is what I said. Looking at good qualities of devotees, glorification of devotees will burn off our enviousness. Otherwise, other devotees, when they are doing service so nicely, we will start feeling enviousness. What is the solution for this enviousness is glorification. Genuine glorification, the enviousness will go off. Yeah. That way, many relationship will also improve. Among devotees also, we have so many issues. But when we genuinely glorify, that relationship will melt down and you both becomes greatest of friends. Yeah. Yes. What more? See, such a beautiful points are coming. What more?
Prabhuji,
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
step
We should not find the faults on other devotees. And
Yes.
if anything is wrong, we should think we are only the wrong. Then only mode of goodness will improve, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Thanks.
Yes. It will help. At the same time, we will see some of the people are doing gross misconduct. Yeah. So it is also our responsibility to bring it to the authorities' notice. Yeah. If somebody is misbehaving with a Mataji in our group, it is important to bring to my notice, or it is important for me to take action. Right? So these are all balancing act we have to do. We can't keep quiet that, okay, at least he's coming to the class, he's doing good. No, wherever such action is required, whether we are the authority, that is the first question. No, bring it to the notice of authority. Yeah. So these are some of the important points. Yes. What more?
Prabhuji,
Yes, Mataji.
we should step out of our comfort zone, Prabhuji. Like, even if we are not able to take up some seva, somehow try to fit it in our thing. So we automatically pushing away unwanted things from our daily activities. Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji. Krishna consciousness itself is stepping out of our comfort zone. Everything in Krishna consciousness is getting out of comfort zone. I am taking this class itself is coming out of my comfort zone. I have never given such classes before getting the instruction from Namanista Prabhu. Yeah. It is important because when we are coming out of comfort zone, we are surrendering to the will of our Guru and Gauranga. We are surrendering to them. Then they start empowering us. It's a very important point. What more?
Following the instruction of spiritual master.
Following the instructions of spiritual master. Yeah. We don't have to reinvent the wheel. Wheel is already invented by our Guru Acharyas. We have to just follow the process given by our Acharyas. It will take us back to the Godhead. Absolutely, there is no doubt. It is very important point. What more?
Hare
What
Krishna,
more practical
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
tips to be in
Yeah.
mode of goodness?
Yes, Prabhu. Following, observing Ekadashi, Prabhu, and reading scriptures.
Yes. Yes. So following Ekadashi is extremely important. Reading scriptures, reading Srila Prabhupada books is extremely important. That will help us to fix up, stay in mode of goodness. Yes.
By trying to see everybody as Krishna's child, and this way we'll not get angry, and we can control the anger if situation is out of our hands.
Yes. That is rising above mode of goodness. What you said. It is very difficult to rise to that stage. Yeah, seeing Krishna in every living entity, Sthitadhira stage. Yeah, every situation, even looking the actions of our enemies as the mercy of the Lord. It is above, transcending above modes of goodness. Right? What more?
Associating
Prabhuji,
with
can
the
I ask you
devotees,
small?
Prabhu, regularly.
Yes. Association of devotees, serving devotees. Yeah. Waking up. Morning program is extremely important. Prabhupada has given a beautiful morning program to us. Yeah, attending Mangalarti. Either you attend or do Mangalarti at home, and then followed by all the Tulsi Arti, Narsinga Arti, 10 offenses to the holy names, reciting Sikshastakam, Tulsi Arti I have told, chanting of holy names, Guru Puja, followed by Bhagavatam classes. These are all going to help us stay in mode of goodness. This will immensely help our sadhana. Yeah. Following 4 regulative principles, ABCD of Bhakti, we said, association of devotees, reading Srila Prabhupada books, chanting holy names, honoring Prasad, Vaishnava etiquities, applying tilak, yeah, applying tilak, applying kanti mala. When we visit temple, we are wearing dhoti kurta, Mataji is wearing saris. These are all keeping us in sattva guna. Right? I hope you got very good understanding about this topic. So already, sorry.
Prabhuji, taking up temple seva.
Yes, Mataji. Doing services. All these things will help us to keep oneself in mode of goodness. So I'm extremely sorry if my words were a little harsh in the beginning, and already I've exceeded my time limit of 25 minutes. Today, being I'm on vacation and in Kerala, I had skipped my next session. I had to go somewhere else now after this. So I had half an hour extra. So I thought I'll spend and complete this chapter with you. Thank you very much for patient listening. वाञ्छा कल्पतरूपस्य च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। गुरु महाराज की जय। गुरु परंपरा की जय। All glories to assembled devotees.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Was shared.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you.
Hare
Dhanyavad
Krishna,
Pranam.
Prabhuji. Pranam,
And
sir.
open book question will be shared. 2 chapters is complete. Request, will give sufficient time. Request to complete that within the timeline. No, don't request for any extensions. Okay. Hare Krishna, Hari Bol. Dandot Pranam to all the devotees.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare
Hare
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.